Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB! Super pumped you're here. July 15th, 2024, middle of the summer, middle of the month, ready to go. This is going to be a good one. 5393, that's right, 5,393, counting down to 5,400. I love counting down. It's always fun. It's a Monday. That means we're getting back to it, okay? We had a good week the last couple weeks. Last week we got back to a little bit, but now it's time. 4th of July is over. A couple weeks in, we should start kicking butt again. And it's a great time because we're going to talk about becoming a great communicator this week, and I got a lot of good stuff this week, but it's a good time to step back, look at our plan, understand where we're at, what is going on. Are we executing properly? Are we doing the things that we need to do? And if we're not, this is a time to make the changes for the rest of the year, right? We've got to dial it in right now. So we're going to really rock it this week. So to start off, remember, if you haven't been doing a metaphysical morning ritual, this is a great time. What do? Take time for self-care. Make sure self-love is the first love, that you're taking some time for yourself. And of course, get here and listen. Get to the CoachCast on a daily basis. Tomorrow's a book study I'll go over this week in a minute, but really get yourself engaged in a new morning metaphysical ritual. Get yourself doing different things. If you want a different life, do some different things. Or if you just want to make your life even better, do some different things. Get your planning and organization together. We're going to talk about something in a minute on that. And that means then we plan our day with the 7 Ps. There's intention with these Ps. And that is, 1, to have the proper perspective. We talked about it yesterday, waking up with joy, waking up with a little love in your heart. I know we can't do it every day, but we're going to do the best we can day in and day out. It's about the day. When I discuss this with friends and, people trying to make real changes, it's not about the weeks or the, how many days in a row, even though we do the consistency in our journal. It's really about today. We can do things today, and that's where all the power is, okay? So have the proper perspective, and then set those daily priorities. It's critical we have the priorities in place. What is going to make the biggest difference today? That's what you should be working on. I know things get in the way. Things happen. We have family issues. We have health issues. We have end-of-life issues with parents. We have a lot of things going on that disrupt that flow. So that's why we really have to be executing on a plan. Because that way, we when something does happen, I call it like a hair on fire moment, you're able to handle it better because you are executing on a plan. That's how you set your priorities. Then we want to focus on improved performance, always getting better. Just a little bit, 1%. That's it, especially in those areas that you really need help that are creating this stress. Maybe it's financially. Focus on 1% today. I know there's a way to get better financially today. 1%, okay? Health, very important. Like I said, we're going to be doing some new things with the planner next year, and one of the things I'm going to be introducing is a health area. I believe it's so important, especially as a lot of us are getting a little older. Let's get our health to be an important part of our life and improve the performance there. Our HRV, which is a great indicator. Our nutrition. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You know all this stuff. But we need to have systems in place to make sure we're executing on a daily basis. So we've got some things coming with that. Have patience. Okay? Make sure you're patient and allowing things to work. These systems don't happen overnight. Got a lot of new people here in July. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is a process. We have people that have been here 19 years. This is stuff that you learn. It takes time. There's a lot coming, and I'm going to keep bringing a lot. But just take it step by step if you're new and if you've been gone for a while. Or maybe you just need to check up for the neck up, right? Step back and let's start back over. That's what we're doing. So have patience in the system. And of course, keep great posture. Get those shoulders back. Get that posture and presence where it needs to be. And again, that means staying present in the moment. Understanding that this is where the power is, right here. And then persist. Take it day by day and persist every day doing what you need to do. And all of a sudden you wake up and you're in a better place. It's the journey, not the destination. I know that's cliche, but the reason there's a lot of cliches is because they're truth. If you can start to enjoy the journey, when you get there, it's just great. It's just awesome to be there. I'm doing a lot of running. So we got the Olympics coming up, and a lot of times you'll see people cry when they're making the Olympics. It's awesome to see. And yeah, those are tears of joy, but really what those tears are, it's all the hard work. everything that was put in to get there. That's what it's a relief. It's such a wonderful thing to cry when you have those moments in your life. Like, I did it. I worked so hard. And no, I'm here. I cry with them. I mean, it's just part of me and what I do as a coach. I love it. I love to see people who have worked hard. And then it's extremely challenging for those that don't make it, right? Think about that. And the depression and the anxiety. And it's like, what am I going to do with my life? I work with pro golfers, and sometimes we have to have that conversation. Like, we're not going to get there. So what are we going to do? And it goes back to, there's a reason for everything. What can we do in our own lives to bring happiness, joy, peace, right? And start there. And we work on it on a daily basis. And that's where it really starts. And that's why Morning Coach is so important. The ROI for Morning Coach is those moments that you hear something that really makes a difference. And it only takes 1 or 2 things a year, and you get the value out of your membership. I'm just telling you, all you got to do is hear 1 or 2 things. Not all the things we're doing, but 1 or 2 things that really makes a big difference, and it's worth it. And that's what we're going to keep bringing. It's why I do it every day and why I tell you, show up, because you never know where you're going to hear that thing. And you could hear it for 19 years. And all of a sudden, one day you hear it, and it came in a different manner, a different story. We're going to talk about communicating in a minute, and it changes everything. Okay, so we want to make sure we have that ritual. We can organize your planner. And again, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. I need some feedback in the community. We'll talk about that. And then if you get a chance, take a picture, send it to the companion, which is great. That tool that we got, we're working on that to make that better. And then we've got, obviously, the community for accountability, questions, support. We've got the writers group going. We've got the metaphysical group. We're going to start some more clubby type groups where we can share ideas. You don't have to do everything, please. I know if you're OCD like me, you want to do everything. That's not what this is about. We create individual structures for individual people. That's what's so important to me. All right, so let's get into it this week. We're going to be talking about becoming a great communicator. Excited about that. Tomorrow we're doing our book study, which we're still on the Creative Act, A Way of Being, and I'm just taking parts of that, reading it and sharing it. It's a little different than our normal book studies. You can grab the book or not, because you don't really need it, but there's some really good stories in there and some ideas. And then Wednesday, we're going to talk about becoming an amazing or an active listener. This is a big one. This is a skill. Communication is a skill. There is some talent to it, but it's a skill that you can enhance, and Wednesday is going to be a big one. You want to be there. Thursday, we've got Ask JB, keeping an open mind and really understanding what's happening when things are working, okay? Really getting ourselves in that place of understanding deeper communication, how that works with our mind and how it works. So we're going to do that on Thursday. That's where I answer your questions. Friday, we've got a good one. We've got seeing market signals through media, through the Fed, et cetera, through communication. So it's going to be a good one as far as financially. And then we've got Dr. Paul on Saturdays for health, which is just fantastic. He's bringing some great detailed information. And on Sunday, we're going to talk about the communication of silence. Can you communicate with silence? Yes, you can. So it's going to be a huge one, okay? A huge one. And just before we get into this, we've got some really cool stuff going on with the planner. I know Vitas and Jürgen, who are black belts in our system, have really been thinking about some new software kind of stuff with our planning in 2025. And then I'm really working towards a more personalized system. So you hear me talk about this, but we've got a base planner that, a lot of people are using. We're bringing some analog systems in that I'm partnering with. And then obviously some people just use paper and pencil. It's great, whatever you use. But coming into 2025, I'm working with a few designers, and I'm trying to build a system that, like, if you're a runner and you want specific things in your planner, we're able to build you a planner for your device and for your system. Now, I know, like I said, Jürgen's an amazing genius. He's been with us for years. He's awesome. He's a black belt. They're working on some software solutions too. So in the community, if you get a chance, let's talk about 2025, because we're going to be building some really awesome systems. And I know just for myself personally, I'm restructuring my planner, okay, the base planner, our structure, our organization, the PDCA. None of that's changing. I mean, we're here every day. We've got this structure. But as far as the way I work day to day, there are certain things that I want to keep track of that maybe you don't want to, right? There's certain things that I want to use that are going to change differently. So we're really evolving that part of the system, the planning system, the individual coaching system. And we're going to put some stuff together also where there might be some opportunities, I don't know yet, where you can work with us or the team to really structure your plan if you don't know it yet, right? So I've got some things coming. Obviously, you come here and listen and the instruction I put together, but I'm talking even more highly individualized stuff. So excited about that. And basically all this to tell you, come in the community and look at the 2025 planning structure and systems. I'm going to be holding some meetings and talking about it, and we're building some really great stuff. And I can tell you there is going to be an option to have a individualized health system in the 2025 planner. And I'm telling you that because that's what we're working on in July, because we're getting ready for that as we come to the end of the year. So I'm super pumped about that, okay? So jump in the community when you get a chance. All right, let's get back to it. So I want to talk about becoming a great communicator today. This is really important because it is a skill, and I think that's the first step. You have to believe that you can become a great communicator. That's step one. You got to say, okay, I can become a great communicator. So what do we got to do? Okay, number one, we have to identify objectives. What are you trying to communicate? So in any situation, as a professional, I'm a professional speaker. I consider myself a professional as I've done it for years. That was actually pre-MorningCoach. I mean, 25 years ago, and then, presenting and selling aircraft, my history. That's what I was. I mean, I was a professional communicator. I was a closer too. I was a guy that would go in and then I would make sure the deals got done. That's kind of my world. And so what I want you to think about today is how to identify what am I trying to do? And what am I really, I was talking to Lori in a mastermind. I love it. Lori's being more intentional. And Lori in our mastermind, we were talking about this idea of really identifying the tactics that you want to get out of the communication. So many times right now, people are communicating because they're trying to push their egoic ideas, right? Or they're trying to feel good. Look, at the end of the day, I want to know how tactically am I going to achieve my objective? And if I'm fighting on Facebook or am I fighting with, an employee or a subcontractor or somebody I work with, and I'm getting angry with them, is it going to help me reach my objective? So we have to be more intelligent in our communication. And again, this is all skills and awareness. Our number one step, and what MorningCoach really is an emotional intelligence system. It's going to help you with your emotional intelligence. And so identifying what you're trying to do out of the communication, whether it's with an individual, with a child, right? Instead of getting angry and emotional, if we can step back and really achieve our objective, are we achieving our objective with our children, with those others? Are we getting what we need out of it? You're listening to MorningCoach. You're intelligent, okay? Understand that our emotion plays a big role in this. And a lot of times it gets in the way of us reaching our objective. So the first thing, in any situation, what is our objective? Let's be a little more tactical. Once we do that, then we can show them, okay? And in the old speaking world, it was tell them what you told them, tell them what you told them, tell them what you told them, like 3 times. Really get clear, tell them what you told them. Now I'm like, show them, okay? And show them what they need to do, or show them your objective. Show them, show them, show them. So it's a consistent, repeated pattern. That's why we do this every day, 5,393 episodes, because it's the consistency that's going to happen. That's what's going to help you reach your objective. Once you do that, and we're going to get into this Wednesday, you want to listen actively. You want to be able to hear what they're saying and see what they're saying through their body language. And as you're doing this, really important as a great communicator, understand your body language. It's hard for me. I'm a passionate person. When I'm on stage or I'm in front of somebody, you're going to see my emotions. You're going to see my facial expressions. You're going to see the way I work, my body. It's just how I am. So I have to be very aware of, am I giving off signals that excuse my language here, I'm going to swear, you're full of shit. And you can see it in my face. I'm just looking at him going, you're full of shit. Now, there's times when I want to say that. Again, I apologize for swearing, but it's important to make a point. There's times when my face will say that, okay? And it's like, wow, they really don't care. And you know that. You can see people that tune you out that aren't listening. And so make sure you understand your body language. Okay, the next step, right? I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. Sorry, I wanted to update you on everything. There's a lot going on. This is a time to be working your plan. We're going to get into this week. Lots of content coming for you. But once you understand your body language, then you need to know your audience. I think this is one of the most important things. When I'm a speaker, and I used to get hired to speak, and I would go to companies, and they pay a lot of money, $20,000, $40,000 for an hour, and I would show up. I didn't enjoy it. Why? Because most people didn't know who I was. I'm not a celebrity. And number 2, I'd have to work the audience because a lot of times they're at lunch hour or they're forced to go there. When I do my own events, they're my audience. They already know me. I can be myself. I don't have to work as hard. I just got to bring it. I got to bring great content. So it's important you know your audience. Who are you talking to? What are their motivations? What are they about? If I go to a conference, a political conference, I need to know what side of the aisle are these people on. I need to know who my audience is. Who am I speaking to? What is a generation? And so a lot of times when I'll speak, if I'm going like, say, Austin, Texas, I'm flying in Austin, Texas, I'm speaking at an internet marketing conference. And I still do those. I'll find new things that are going on. I'll get on the internet, and I'll look for stuff that's happening, and then I'll look for stuff in the local area. And then a lot of the stuff that I'll do is just old stories that I know that work, but I mix in a lot of new stuff so it seems fresh, being a professional. If that's stuff you want to learn, like really, if you want to get more into speaking, that's a group I could start. Send me an info at morningcoach.com or tell me in the community, say, hey, JB, can we start a group on speaking? Because that's in my wheelhouse. I can teach you how to become a professional speaker and really kill it, okay? And even not even kill it as a professional speaker, but just if you need that information, there are certain things you can do. I did it for years and years and years, and I can share that knowledge, and I'll share it with the Morning Coach community, okay? So know your audience, really critical. Then what you want to do is pace yourself. Okay, make sure, and this is another one I have a problem with. I did a big conference in Cartagena, big conference, and I rocked it. But there are a few people that came up and said, hey, JB, you need to slow your pace down. And then they wanted me to go into Asia, where we had a lot of, the Chinese population was there, and they wanted me to speak there, and I wouldn't go. And here's why. Because I don't slow my pace down. The reason I don't is I'm an energetic speaker. That's what you get. You slow me down, I'm really bad. I wouldn't say I'm bad. I'm just not JB. It's not me, and I'm built with authenticity. I have to be me. I can't not feel myself. So I am not going to slow my pace. But if you can, like if you're somebody that can slow your pace, then you need to understand it. Or again, know your audience and say, no, I can't speak to that group, or understand your objective. And if the objective is I have to no matter what, then I know I have to slow my pace down. That's it's just a cultural difference in certain areas in the way people communicate. Okay? You got to, again, oh God, my notes are just coming right along with this. Choose your spots. So when you communicate, you want to choose your battles or choose your spots. You to gain respect and authenticity, or gain respect and influence is what I want, not authenticity. To get influence, people need to respect you. And in order to get that, you have to choose your spots. If you're always constantly on high energy, even though that's how I am, I get it. And that's why some people that are around me can only take me in small doses. I have to choose the spots that I'm really going to go after when I'm being tactical with my communication. Okay? And then finally, you want to be clear. You want to use the tools and the ideas and the things that you're learning here at Morning Coach to become this better communicator. I'm telling you, if you just listen, if you just start to be more tactical in your communication, if you start to really understand these concepts that we're teaching you over time, and I'm talking about the big picture stuff, all of this will start to come together. And it'll help you. It'll really make a difference in your life. Okay, so let's go out there and have a fantastic week. Let's get off to a great one. Tomorrow, we're going to get back to the book study. We're going to get through that, and then we're going to get on this communication stuff. And if you want to jump in the community and talk to me about the 2025 planner and planning and some of the independent things we're doing, love to see you in there. And if you want me to start putting a speaking group together, that's something that I can do. Again, I don't want to inundate you with all these different things because we got the writing group, we got the metaphysical group, and we've got obviously everything else going on. But I'm here. We're here to serve and make this the best place in the world and give you that ROI from a coaching perspective that you know you have the plan, right? And we work together on that. You work on it annually. You know you're getting the right information. And you're just living your best life. That's what Morning Coach is about. And by doing that, we're making the world a better place because you finally know, you're certain about what you should be doing day in and day out. You're prioritizing. You're doing your ritual. You really are getting it done. Okay, so let's go do it to it. I love you. Love you bunches. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Morning Coach.